And this one is done in, again, another one of those twine, at least from what I could tell. You show up to the building to tonight's show, VWF Hall, or VFW Hall. You and a handful of other wrestler friends jump out of the car the first time in hours and unload your bags. You're approaching the door where a couple fans are waiting outside. Pull your hood up and go inside. Hell yeah. Now, no one saw that you're the wrestler they're going to be seeing later tonight. Or if they did, they saw you wearing a hood to try to hide your identity, and that's just cool. What's the venue looking like? The ring is being constructed by the poor young wrestler who made the mistake of getting into the business after other people did. Three other wrestlers, dues properly paid, are hanging out at the ringside, as well as a ref and a sound guy. Let's go ahead and help set up the ring. I think that's the nice thing to do. Oh, fucking liar. Okay. Shake the first wrestler's hand. You walk up and give the traditional wrestler's limp handshake, a habit that will make your significant other's father side eye you for the next 6 months of the relationship. But at least now this wrestler knows that you won't be stiff in the ring. Thank God for science. You give another limp handshake. The faintest "what's up" escaping your lips as you pretend to like this asshole. Let's continue to be cordial. You walk past the ref and the sound guy because you're a wrestler and you don't talk to these losers. You give the third wrestler your weakest handshake left yet, giving him just a few fingers as you're already pulling your arm away. Let's go and look for the promoter. You see a man who looks like he'd send you typo-filled Facebook messages and approach him. Your instincts turn out to be correct, as this is the promoter of the show. He shakes your hand and tells you that your card will be up soon. Let's check out the ring. Back in the ring, the trainees and greenhorns are tightening the ropes. The scramble match participants are practicing their 10-man suplex spot. Someone is throwing Alex Olsen. Let's take a closer look. You check out the ring apron on one side and notices there's not enough, or notice that there's several wooden boards exposed where a thin layer of padding isn't reaching far enough. Yeah, safety. Call over the ring crew guy. You wave someone over and point out the problem to them. They tell you that this is how the big boys play. Since you've been on even a single show before, you know this is patently untrue. But now you know what kind of show you're on, and there's nothing you can do. Someone calls out that doors are opening in 5 minutes. You take a picture of the ring and post it to your Snapchat story with the caption, "Tonight's Battleground." Your coworkers will ask you on Monday if you won at your meet and what weight class you're in. Return to the locker room. Let's see. The locker room is bustling with activity now. Someone is asking for gum and wrist tape. One of tonight's main eventers is loudly explaining the cutter finisher to his opponent and saying "bro" a lot. The same bottle of water gets stolen from person to person like 3 times. Let's get our gear on. Who are we wearing tonight? We can wear lucha tights and kick pads, a tank top and jeans, custom anime tights. Somewhere, an old wrestler with an Elvis gimmick is yelling about how you modern wrestlers play video games instead of doing drugs. I have no clue what the gorilla position is, but let's find out. Go check out the gorilla position. You enter the gorilla position, the curtained off area that you'll be making your entrance from later tonight. It's currently occupied by a strange man playing Skillet on Windows Media Player for the fans filing in. I think the strange man is trying to talk to me. He is, and he's asking what your entrance music is. That's a bad metal, Drake rapping, you rapping, weird, creepy church music you found on YouTube. Some video game anime bullshit, or something takes entirely too long for the beat to drop and you refuse to come on until it does. Let's go with the video game anime bullshit. He shakes his head with a chuckle, says, "Classic." Presses some buttons on Windows Media Player. Your opponent approaches you from the locker room, chewing tobacco and wearing flip flops. They ask you if you want to plan your match. Uh, sure. Let's put it together. You and your opponent plan the match. They tell you the only thing they really want to get in, strangely enough, is a bicycle kick. Let's agree to the random request. Next, you're asked to do a spot that, although cool, you know you'll fuck up. How about a roll up? They're disappointed and will probably bury you on Twitter later, but they agree. You're about to part ways when they stop and ask you what your gimmick is. Say gimmick, I do moves. Pretty boy who swivels his hips. Woman with green hair who screams. Fake MMA fighter. Supposedly creepy character with mask makeup. Heel who does a little half laugh for emphasis in their promos. Let's go with. I do moves. Hey, me too. See you out there. Let's go tear it up. You arrive in the gorilla position where the promoter tells you he forgot to have you take promo pictures. How do you pose? Open your mouth like you're yelling, cross your arms, do a throat slash, or bite a title belt. Let's do the yelly pose. That seems kind of cliche. Great. Now you and both of your great. Now you've got both your new Facebook profile picture and something you and the boys will cackle at the car years from now. It's finally almost time. You're standing behind the curtain now, jumping in place, getting into the zone. You ready? Hit my music. You burst through the curtain, only to discover something horrible. Woohoo! Say, that's woohoo. Okay, that's your entrance music, but that's song 2 by Blur. Quick, what classic indie wrestling entrance do you do to recover? Let's see. Flip off the crowd. That's right, you're a badass heel. Crowd does not react at all. Please ring the bell. The bell rings and you square off with your opponent. How are you starting this thing? Want to hit him. Let's see. I don't blame you, but let's think about this. Are you going to throw a safe punch or you stiff them? Safe, obviously. They trust you and you let them. They let you hit them. You make contact, but it's safe. They hit you back, but it's the hardest you've been hit in your life. Fucking head. You roll out on the floor to recover. Your opponent doesn't pick up that you're needing a second and goes for a dive. Let's see. Catch the asshole. Pretend to catch them, but mostly protect yourself. All the marks and spot monkeys will look down and shout, "Catch me." I will look up and whisper, "No." Let's go with that one. You walk away and they eat shit on the floor. Okay, roll back in the ring. The match continues, and after an incredibly uncompelling heat and comeback, you reach the final stretch of the match. Your opponent gets in the position for a bicycle kick, pointing at you and yelling your name, which causes a building-wide cringe. You feed in to take a kick, and it never comes. They've forgotten their own spot. How do you recover? Shoot German suplex, I guess. Let's see. Without telling them what you're doing, you grab them around the waist from behind and throw them over your head. Despite landing on their neck and shoulders, they roll up to their feet with their arms at their side and yell, "Daddy, what's happening?" asks a child in the audience. They think it makes them look strong, but it's actually their opponent. Sorry. They think it makes them look strong, but it's actually makes their opponent look weak and reminds his fans that all of this isn't real and makes us feel like nothing matters. What would actually make them look strong is if they took their move, demonstrated that it hurt, and then got up and fought through it. You're right, Dad. That would make for much better professional wrestling. I know, my very realistic child. Now watch. It looks like the ref is telling them something. Indeed, the ref is whispering to you that their time is up and you need to end the match. Damn, there's more we could do, but if it's time, it's time. You grab a quick schoolboy pin on your opponent. In 3 seconds, this nightmare will be over and you'll be on your way to Denny's. Except they kick out. Oh, what the fuck? You and your opponent brawl as you tell them to end a match, exchanging strikes as you close the ropes. They headbutt you and slap their thigh, which we all know perfectly simulates the sound of two skulls hitting together. They hook your head and arm and call for a suplex over the ropes and to the floor. You know you can't do this. And wait, which side of the ring has the exposed boards? Fuck it, I'm in. You really are just a simple creature. They lift you up and over your head, and you both tumble to the ropes, landing in a heap on the apron. And of course, it's the side with the exposed boards. Both your bodies are fucked, but at least a couple people said, "Ooh," and there'll be gifs of it online, right? Okay, let's just end this. They use their hobbled body to push your hobbled body into the ring and crawl over to cover you. Who was supposed to win again? Let's roll them up. You counter the pin with your own, begging them to stay down. The ref counts to 3 and the bell rings. You celebrate your victory and quickly walk to the back. Your opponent thanks you for the great match and blames you for everything that went wrong in the same breath. Hours pass, as is the time the show is supposed to be over, but it does eventually end. You find the promoter who says great match, shakes your hand again, and hands you an envelope. You gather up your stuff and your carload of other wrestlers and get back on the road. Open the envelope. You've been paid $5. Fuck this business. You risked your life and limb for entertainment of others and actually lost money doing it. Even a properly executed fall can be the equivalent of a car accident on the body, and you're making less profit than kids with lemonade stands. And at least they get health insurance. You continue the drive to Denny's, wondering if you can afford off the latest movie tie-in menu, why you still do this shit, and if anyone can get you into the customs matches. No more glory days. Okay, so it says it's made by Chris Hutton. You want to see some of the indie wrestling career that inspired this game? You can catch some matches, highlights, and a mini documentary on their site. So that's interesting. I mean, I don't know wrestling moves, but it was kind of an interesting insight that didn't assume that I knew what the hell it was talking about. So I appreciate that.